This is the Pentax MX-1, and in this video I would like to share some of my thoughts from using this camera over the last 2 months. The Pentax MX-1 takes design cues from its SLR predecessors. The boxy shape of the camera, lack of the front grip, and the front faux leather grip that wraps around the middle will be familiar to SLR shooters. Even down to details like the lettering on the front and the flash is a font that is used on older film bodies, and it adds a nice touch. But perhaps the most exciting nod to the past is the brass top and bottom plate, which when used over time gives the familiar brassing look. Maybe it's a silly thing to some, but for me it makes the whole look work. Of course, a good-looking camera that can't take good pictures is of little use, except to get you into some elite hipster club. Thankfully, the Pentax MX-1 has a good sensor and a great lens that can turn out some amazing pics. The lens is a 28 to 112 mm, 35 mm format equivalent focal length, with a maximum aperture of f1.8 on the wide end and f2.5 on the long end. This means plenty of light in low light situations and makes a practical difference. You can even get a little bit of bokeh for portraits or other types of shots despite the tiny sensor. The lens felt sharp across all apertures and focal lengths, and I never felt like it was too soft or ruined a picture. One neat feature on this camera is the macro 1cm mode that lets you focus as close as 1 cm. The lens moves into a special position to allow this close focus, and it's a fun creative feature to have that can really open up some doors. The only gotcha I discovered with the lens was that it desperately needs a lens hood if shooting into bright light. Mine did not come with a lens hood cap thingy that I've seen on other ones, and the flare that comes off this lens looks horrendous. Using the camera is a joy. Despite the lack of grip in the front, the camera does have a decent thumb rest in the back, and the camera is light enough that I didn't find it uncomfortable to use for long periods of time. The body is full of practical features. For instance, this dedicated dial for exposure compensation is very handy to have and makes it easy to set a compensation and have it set even after the camera turns off. The built-in flash works great, and thanks to the leaf shutter design, it allows syncing at all shutter speeds. This makes shooting flash in bright sun really easy. The drop-down screen opens up a lot of doors for hip shooting or shooting low to the ground, and I always find these nice to have around. The Pentax MX-1 fits in the category of advanced compact cameras with a luxury twist. It's not a fast camera, a waterproof camera, not a good video hybrid camera. It's a camera that looks great and takes great stills. It did feel a little bit out of place hiking with me in the woods, but I feel like it would be right at home on the streets of a city or while traveling. Let me know what you think of the Pentax MX-1. In many ways, it's the retro Pentax styling that I wish would end up in a specialty APS-C or full-frame Pentax body. But for now, you can settle with this. Remember to shoot wherever you are with whatever you got, and until next time, happy snapping.